Hey GIS enthusiasts! Welcome back to another ArcGIS Pro tutorial. In this part 2 of our Model Builder series, we'll dive into creating custom tools using Model Builder in ArcGIS Pro. You'll learn how to design and build custom tools in Model Builder, parameterize models for user input, save and share tools for team collaboration, enhance GIS workflows with automation. If you love GIS, automation, and spatial analysis, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more ArcGIS Pro, Python, and GIS programming tutorials.
Yes, sir. Okay. So if that is done, we can just see how we can actually create a new tool. Okay. Now, if you come to your map, okay, and you come to your catalog, okay. In the model builder, you will have a model builder dot toolbar. In here, you will have the model that you have created. So this is the model 6 that you have created, right? So this is a model 6. Okay. Now, if I right click here and click on open, you can see that nothing is here, right? So this was the tool that we created. So the tool that we created here, this is the like the UI where we actually use it, but this nothing is given here. Okay, now we can see how we can actually create this similar thing, the same thing, how we can just use it as a model tool. Okay, for that we'll just use this same one. Okay, so I'll just delete all the inputs from here. Or we just add it from scratch. Okay, so the first tool that we'll be using is our composite bands tool, right? And now instead of giving the parameters by right clicking here, you can right click the tool. Okay, right click the tool name. Okay, in here you have the create variable. Okay, and from parameter I want the input rasters. Okay, now this input rasters will be given as a parameter. For that you can right click and mention it as a parameter. Okay, now similarly I'll do that for the next composite bands tool also. So let me the same process. So whatever inputs are we giving, we'll be setting it as a independent parameter. So right click the tool, create variable. From parameter, we'll be giving input rasters, and we are setting this input rasters as parameter. Okay. Now these two outputs, right? So I can just give the okay. So let it be like that. Okay. So next I'll be connecting this to my mosaic to new raster tool, right? So mosaic to new raster, I'll set it here. I'll give the inputs, input raster, input values. Now all the other things that we have given, right? So what all the parameters that we have given to run it, we can set it as a separate parameter. So I'll just create variable from parameter. I'll set the output location. I need to set the output location. So that output location I'll be setting as a parameter. It's lagging so much that I don't even know if that was given a parameter. So next one I gave was the raster data as a name with extension, right? So that one also I'll be setting it as a separate parameter. Right click and I'll enable that as parameter. So whatever the things that you need to do. From parameter I was setting, I believe, the pixel type. So that was right click, set as parameter, create variable from parameter, number of bands. That one also right click, set as parameter. And now if maybe I'll just click on the auto layout. Okay, so I can see that output location wasn't given parameter. Oh, I just gave add to display here. I don't need that display. Okay, so all those things I have set as parameter. Now the output of mosaic I'll be setting as clip. So for clipping also I need the clip raster. So I'll just add the clip raster here and I'll set the input of, I'll just close this, input of my mosaic as my input raster for clip raster. And similarly, what all variable parameters I need to give here. So one was the output extent, right? So output extent I set it my parameter. Another one was, I believe, the use input features for clipping geometry. That's what that one also I will set as parameter. Another one was maintain clipping extent. So that one also I set as parameter. Now click on auto layout. So to input rasters, input file, it was going to composite and then composite output raster is given as input to mosaic to know raster, to which output location, raster dataset with name, pixel type, number of bands are given as parameter, and output of mosaic is given as input my clip raster, to which output extent, use input for clear and maintain clipping extent as given as parameter, and clip raster, the output is output raster dataset. Okay. Now maybe I can even set it as like add to display for these two images. I will set the mosaic one also as add to display, and the final, this one also I set as add to display. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to rename these tools, you can just right click and rename them. Okay. So you'll have the option to rename them. Okay. So I can set some name as like first composite bands, and here I'll set the name as maybe second composite bands. Okay. So if that is done, what you can do is you can just now save the model. Okay. So you have the save here. Click on save the model. Okay. Now come to the map. Okay. And maybe I'll just remove all the images that was already here. Come to map, remove them. Catalog panel. I have the models, right? So if you want, if you see that it's not updated, you can right click them and refresh it. Okay. So the model was model 6 here. I'll right click my model 6, click on open. Now you can see it's been added here. Okay. So I have my first two data sets, right? So these are the input for the first more composite raster, right? Maybe I can just give the name as input rasters for first composite. Okay. And I'll give name as Okay, and I'll save them. Okay, I'll come to my model and I'll refresh it. And now if I open the model, you can see. Okay, so the input rasters first composite. I can now add this. Maybe I can even just close this model. Okay, so I have now just the same the map and I have the tools here. So I'll open up my catalog, the model builder toolbar. I have the model. I click. You can just open, or you can even double click them, and the tool has been opened. Okay, so input rasters was the first composite. I'll select my first set of bands for that. For the raster, I'll select my first set of bands. Click OK. And I need input rasters for the second composite. So I'll just select the second set of images, and that is done. Then it needs raster dataset name with extension. So that was for the mosaic. Okay, so I'll just give mosaic for .diff, and okay, so I didn't give the location name, no? So if I click on edit here, it will open up my model. And no, no, output location is given there. Okay, doesn't matter. So I just gave the raster data as a name with extension is given. Pixel type I'll set it as extreme width unsigned. Number of bands was 3. Output location I can set a location here. So I'll just set it as my normal model builder location. Okay, I set the folder. Now it needs output extend. So this was for clipping, right? So if you could even give the name for clipping, output extend for clipping or something. You can just rename there. So whatever the name you gave there, it will be reflecting on your tools. Okay. So like it needs the output extend. So I can also add them also. So I'll just give my output extend as my random shapefile. So it was over with analysis, stream shapefile. Okay, now I have the use input features block clipping geometry, maintain clipping extend. So after all those are done, I can just click on run, and then it will be running as same as any other normal tool that you have. You can even click on the view details also. So it will just do all the kind of things that you have done before using a single tool. You just needs to select your input images and all the other parameters that you need to give, and it will give you the output from the whole for the first composite images to the last clipped features. So until then it will give you your output. So let's see how the output is. What happened with the output? Please tell me I gave add to display. Display was given. I don't know why it's not displayed,
You
but
already
yeah,
no, no, already added that option. Add to display.
yeah, to display I gave it. So I don't know why it's not displayed here. Let me see if the data is created in my catalog. Model builder GDB mosaic for it has actually created the mosaic. It has actually created all the things also. So mosaic all.flow. Let me see. Maybe it was because I closed it. That shouldn't be. Folders. Yeah, let's see this here. So the output I gave to my model builder out refresh. It has actually created the mosaic 4. Okay, so mosaic 4 has been created, and mosaic 4 clip would have been in the default location, that is in project model builder. Mosaic 4 clip, that is also done. Okay, yeah, everything was done, but I don't know why it was not added to display. I even gave the add to display also. Yeah. Maybe you guys can check it out, because but this is how you can actually create a model tool. Okay, so using model builder, you can create a custom model tool using this way. Okay, so you will be setting all the tools, right, and then you'll just connect all them together, and then you'll separate out all the features or all these parameters that you give. So what wherever you are keeping it as a parameter, that will be visible in here in the parameter section. Okay. So whatever that you extract as a variable and then give the tag parameter, that will be visible in here in your tool UI user interface. So whatever the front end, that will be visible here. Okay, so what all the variables that you, what all the parameters that you need to give to run your tool, you can separate them out as a variable and then set it as a parameter, so that those things will be visible, and you can toggle them like this, so that you can work on them as a separate tool. Okay, so in here, what I have done, I have created a tool for creating the composite, the mosaic, and clipping in a single tool, right? So I combined all those tools to a custom tool. That is the tool for your clipping, your compositing, your mosaicing, and clipping your data.